What's up, guys? Marky Mark, Philippines Life. Welcome to my channel. Hey guys, I want to talk to you today. First of all, I'm actually walking back from the store. I picked up some raisin bread, which I absolutely love. Raisin bread and some Gatorade. Lynn made some pancit for me for lunch, so I've got some pancit waiting on me whenever I decide to eat lunch. Let me see if I can get around this car here. So actually I'm acting, hello my friend, hello. All right. So I'm actually walking back to the apartment right now, guys. And I want to talk to you about how I protect myself. So if you give me a second to get to my room, my apartment I should say. Hey guys, what's up?
Hello.
Lunch break?
Yes.
Lunch break, all right. Excuse me. Okay, gotta go up these steps here. But I absolutely love living here in DePolog. They're still doing construction work and everything here, so don't mind the mess there. They're still working on this building. But I absolutely love DePolog, man. I love my apartment, I love the people. And it seems like when I travel around to different cities, the people get nicer and nicer and nicer. I mean, I absolutely love it. So, very happy here. I was super happy and excited when I moved here. And I'm still super happy and excited to be here. And then, of course, when I met Lynn, it just put the icing on the cake, as we say in America. Put the icing on the cake. All right, but I want to talk to you guys about how I protect myself when I came to the Philippines. And this is something that I've always done because I truly believe in networking. I truly believe in networking because, quite frankly, networking can save your life, knowing the right people. And because you never know what might go down in any city, any town, any country. You never know what might happen, and you need somebody to reach out to and to call. A lot of vloggers. Oh, hold on, let me change my shoes here. A lot of vloggers go to a city. Maybe they stay there a day or two. Maybe they stay there a month, whatever. But a lot of vloggers, they just get to the city that they want to go to and they go crazy, right? They act wild. And that's so dangerous, in my opinion. I appreciate y'all having patience with me, man. I just walked in. Let me cut the air conditioner on so I don't be so hot. This is the little air conditioner they have in the Philippines. They put these on. I keep mine on 16. So let me go ahead and set this up here. And then we're going to talk, okay? All right. But I hope everybody's having a great day. It's a beautiful day here in DePolog. Day here in DePolog. Absolutely love this city, man. So let me take this off. Okay, so let's talk. I'm going to cut my light on, guys, and then we're going to talk. Lights on. Okay. Or like they say in the Philippines, on the light, right? On the light. You know what? There's something else I want to do. Let me lift these blinds up, guys. Let me lift these blinds up here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Get some more light in. About right there should be okay, huh? About right there should be okay, be okay, be okay. Alrighty. Now we're ready. Now we are ready. So, yeah. So I want to talk to you about how to protect yourself, or how I protect myself. That's what I want to talk to you about, how I protect myself. And what I mean is, when I go to a city or a country or something, if I'm going to stay there any period of time, and I've always done this, is I know the importance of networking, right? I know the importance of networking and meeting people of influence, meeting people that can make things happen, meeting people that can help you if you run into a situation, right? That's very, very important. So how do I protect myself here? Well, this is what I do. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but this is what works for me, okay? So before I flew from North Carolina to the Philippines, I'd already bought my ticket to land in Davao City. Now, I had nailed my retirement down to two places. I wanted to retire either in Davao City or in Dipolog, okay? One of the two places. Excuse me. So I landed in Davao City. I stayed at a hotel there, a nice hotel. What is it called? The Rogan Inn. Very, very nice hotel. Enjoyed myself, stayed there for a few days. And I still really haven't decided which city I wanted to live in, because understand, I didn't have a house in Dipolog or apartment. I didn't have a house or apartment in Davao City. But I knew that after watching hundreds and hundreds of videos of so many vloggers talking about different places, that it was one of the two. So I decided, you know what, let me go to Dipolog. I felt like Dipolog fit my personality more. Even though I enjoyed going to the mall in Davao and going to the parks and different things, I didn't even get to see everything I wanted to see in Davao. But I said, I believe I'm going to go with Dipolog. So I booked my ticket, flew to Dipolog, didn't even have a place to stay. I actually booked my hotel room while I was in the airport at Cebu, because you have a short little layover in Cebu and then you fly to Dipolog. So while I'm sitting there with like 2 hours to go before getting on the airplane, and I'm on my cell phone looking through, trying to find a place to stay in Dipolog. But I did find a place, as you know, the hotel that I stayed at for like 30 days. And then started networking with people, meeting people, and that brought me to right here in this studio apartment that I'm living in, right here in the city center of Dipolog. Now, how do I protect myself? This is how I do it, guys, is I network with as many people of influence as I can. Now, I got very fortunate this time because the owner of this commercial building that wanted to rent out one of these rooms, you know, for a resident, he knew the mayor. He knows the mayor, right? And so I definitely, when I go to a different place, I want to meet the police chief. I want to meet the mayor. I want to meet whoever I can, the largest pastor in the city. I want to meet whoever I can, the fire chief or whatever, so that not only do I know them and have their contact information, but they also have my contact information, because you never know what could go wrong. You never know who could accuse you of something that you didn't do, okay? But when you made those contacts with people of influence and they start to trust you and you start to feel good with them, the first thing they're going to think is, oh, I just talked to that person last month. That person was the kindest person, the nicest person. We talked about this. I gave them my phone. This person would never do anything like that. Or they would at least be more open-minded, because I'm a Black American. So it would be the Black American, a foreigner, versus a Filipino, one of their brothers or sisters, right? Versus a Filipina or a Filipino, okay? And so not only did I network and get close to my landlord, who happened to be a person of influence, but I also put myself in a position to meet the mayor, okay? So I met the mayor. We had a short conversation. He knows who I am. He knows what I look like. He knows that I'm a kind person, a gentle person, and whatever he might have been preconceived about Black people or Black Americans, whatever, I made my point to be respectful, to shake his hand firmly, to look at him in the eye, to always smile, you know, and to listen to him, don't interrupt with what I want to say. And it went absolutely perfect. Also had an opportunity to meet the mayor's significant other. And she and I had an even longer conversation, a deeper conversation, okay? So that was very interesting. Met a few other people of influence. And then, you know, in the Philippines, they have something called barangays, right? Barangays are like different little villages or different little, like a city within a city, right? And these barangays, each barangay has a barangay captain. And if anything goes on, if I get accused of something or something goes wrong, if I'm in an accident, a bike accident or a car, whatever the case may be, then usually it first goes to, if there's a complaint, it goes to the barangay mall, to the barangay captain. And he listens to both parties, you know, whether it's a domestic violence dispute or whether it's, like I said, a car accident or whatever it is. Maybe somebody feels like they've been wronged and scammed out of money from somebody, whatever it is. You go there and you talk to the barangay captain, and he listens to both sides of the story. Now, the problem is, usually what the problem is, guys, is, like I said, you're a foreigner speaking up against maybe something of a Filipino right here, right? So already it's going to be skewed a little bit towards the Filipino as far as in favor of. Even if you're in the right, there is a big chance that they're going to judge, or the barangay captain is going to judge in favor of the Filipino. Once again, this is how I protect myself, okay? Because a lot of Filipinos don't have a relationship with the barangay captain. They may not have a relationship with the mayor or whatever, the governor or whatever the case may be. But I, as a foreigner, make sure I do that, okay? So what I did was I spoke to someone and said, you know, how do I contact the barangay captain? Because I want to introduce myself to him, let him know that I live in his barangay, his village, his part of the city. I'm within his boundaries of the barangay. And I want to introduce myself. I want to let him know that I love his city. I love the people. I'm going to be very respectful. I'm going to smile. I'm going to shake his hand firmly. And I always make a habit, guys, that when I approach them, I have my hat on. And the reason why I have my hat on is because once I walk into their office, or if I'm walking towards them, I want them to see me remove my hat. Once again, respecting authority and respecting the elders, especially in the Philippines, is a big, big deal. All right? Don't say, well, I'm not from the Philippines, so we don't do that. No, you do that, okay? You know the saying, when in Rome, right? When in Rome, do what the Romans do. So when I'm in the Philippines, I do what the Filipinos do. And they demand respect if they're a person that's in authority or elderly person like that. So that's what I did. So I've already met the mayor. I met some businessmen that have very good reputation in the city, and they're honored. And then I went, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I found out when I could meet the barangay captain. I went to the mall here, the barangay mall. I went to his office, or the receptionist lady said, you can come in now. I went to his office. I had my hat on. And then as soon as he could see me, I removed my hat to show respect. I smiled. I walked towards him with my hand out, and I gave him a nice firm, not one of them dish rag handshakes. I gave him a firm handshake and said, hello, sir. My name is Mark Jackson. I'm from North Carolina, USA, and I live in your barangay now, and I just wanted to introduce myself. And he said, my name is, and I won't say his name. He told me his name, but he actually just told me his name. Like I said, Mark Jackson. He actually said blah, 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 right? His name. And then to me, I mean, that's fine. I know his name, but I need to know how to properly address him. Okay? I'm not in North Carolina anymore, right? And so, okay, I said, then I said, Mr., his last name, okay? I said, Mr. So-and-so. I said, how do I properly address you? Sir? Do I say sir last name, or do I say Mr.? And he says, and then this is what he said. And I'm going to make up a name. This is not his real first name, but let's say his first name is David, okay? He said, just call me David. Now, I'm a foreigner. living in his barangay. He is a person of authority that demands respect. I ain't calling him David. The other Filipinos may call him David, but I ain't calling him David. He's going to get constant respect. Because like I said, if something happens and I get in trouble, I want to know that the barangay captain understands that I'm an upright, law-abiding citizen. I'm an extrovert. I'm outgoing. I want him to know that I'm a vlogger. I gave him my card, let him know that I am a vlogger, and I vlog everything happening in DePolog and surrounding cities. And he liked that, but getting back to my point before I lose my thought. So I asked him, how do I properly address you? And he gave me some other answer. And I said, sir, do you mind if I just call you Sir last name? Sir last name? He said, that's fine. And because I want to always show respect. So we sat down and talked. I met his child that was there, and I think that was his wife sitting there with his child. I'm not sure. She kind of helped a little bit with the translation when he didn't quite understand certain English words or couldn't really translate it. His daughter or either I guess his wife would help, right? But he got my personal phone number. I have his personal phone number. He knows exactly where I live. He said, call him anytime. If I have any issues, he said, give him a personal call and he will have his assistant or either him jump right on it. He subscribed to me on YouTube. He follows me on Facebook. His whole family follows me on Facebook. And so they can see all my activities. They may even watch this YouTube video right here, which is perfectly fine because I haven't said their names or anything. But guys, that's how I protect myself. Even before I flew to the Davao City, while I was in Walmart, right? Every Filipino I saw in Walmart, I made sure I spoke to them. And I said, are you Filipino? And they said, yes. I'm in Pembroke, North Carolina, in Walmart shopping. And if I see a Filipino, I kind of act like I'm shopping and pull up next to him, push my cart up next to him. I say, excuse me, ma'am, or excuse me, sir, are you Filipino? And of course I knew they are because I know how they look, right? And they go, yes, I'm Filipino. Or I'll go up to them if it's morning time and I'll say something like, Magandang Omega. Or I'll say, Maya hapon if it's in the afternoon. Maya hapon, which is Mindanao was the way they speak in Bisaya, right? And so, or the Tagalog. And so I always ask them which part of the Philippines. I said, I'm moving to the Philippines. I'm retiring to the Philippines in a few months. And they go, really? Where are you going to be going to? And I told them either Davao City or Dipolog City. And then someone will say, oh, I have friends in Davao, or I lived in Davao, or I have family in Davao, or Dipolog, or Dapitan City, or whatever. And so I actually got their Facebook contact information. I messaged back and forth with them. They've given me, I've got contacts of lawyers in Davao City. They've given me one of the gentlemen that I met, Filipinos in North Carolina, in Pembroke, North Carolina, Robinson County, right? In the Walmart. Come to find out, his dad was the police chief of Davao City. His dad. And his mom was also a prominent person. So he gave me their information so that I could, if I decided to live in Davao City, I was going to what? Make a connection with them, introduce myself. Guys, and then that's like a protection for me. So when these other vloggers, if they go around and they kind of act a little questionable, do some questionable things, and they're doing these questionable things without the police chief knowing who they are, without the mayor knowing who they are, without prominent people knowing who they are, somebody to have your back. And that's why I feel very protected and safe. I keep my head on a swivel, right? I don't trust anybody 100%, but I feel so much safer, guys, because I know I've got multiple people throughout the city, business owners. I try to be nice, respectful, and say hello, even if they don't say hello back. If somebody catches me in the eye, I say hello, right? I say Mayan Buntag if it's in the morning, Mayan Buntag, or whatever, which is good morning. And I always make, I don't want to say friends, but I make, everywhere I go, I make, what's the word I want to use? Not friends, but acquaintances. In my mind, they're acquaintances. I'm not making like close friends. You don't want to have too many close friends, but you want to keep that circle small, especially when you're in another country. But I want them to know that I'm a happy acquaintance. I'm a good acquaintance. You know, right down the road here, there's a guy. Every time he sees me, I can see his house right now, his little store. I'm on third floor. I'm looking down through my window. But every time I, go that way to the boulevard, and he sees me, he goes, "Hello, my friend," or "Hello, amigo," and I go, "Hello, amigo," or "My buntag, amigo," And it's kind of funny because he loves to smoke cigarettes, but he never has any, right? And he'll go, "My buntag." I say, "My buntag, amigo." He go, "My buntag, friend." And then he says, "You got a cigarette?" I said, "No, I told you I don't smoke," right? But we just have a lot of fun, man. I love this country. I love this city. I love the people here. When I went to Polanco, I think it was yesterday, when I went to Polanco, man, the people even seem like they were even more friendly and more welcoming you to their city and their people. But I always feel protected. I always feel protected because I make sure, and this is the answer, this is how you protect yourself, is make sure that the people of prominence and the people of power, the people that can make things happen, make sure that you show respect, you smile, you give them a firm handshake, you talk to them as properly as you can, not a bunch of slang and things like that, and you show them respect. More respect than you would show them back in the United States. In the United States, if the mayor's name is John Doe, he don't mind if you call him Mayor John or Mr. John, right? But not in another country. You show the ultimate respect, and that, I believe, can be a big, big protection for you. And there's other ways to protect yourself, guys. If you know of other ways, because I want to keep this video, I don't want to go too long, but there are other ways to protect yourself. But if you guys know, or if you've done things to protect yourself in another city or in another country, put it in the comments so that all of us can learn from you also, okay? Just put it in the comments. Do you have certain ways that you protect yourself, or do you have certain suggestions of how to protect yourself so that you feel safer in another country, okay? Because you don't want to move to another country and just be a recluse. You don't just want to be by yourself and maybe have your girlfriend or whatever, but nobody knows you, man. You need your barangay captain to know who you are. You need your police chief or your mayor or your governor or people of influence to know who you are, and always carry yourself with the ultimate respect. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, stay safe, keep your head on the swivel, and don't trust anybody 100%.